The cab was empty. "You don't seem surprised, Tess," Tom said as she slowed to a stop on the shoulder of the road and squinted at the store. She could make out a couple of people in there in spite of the glare from the harsh outside lighting, and she could see that one of them was big. Was he big or real big? Betsy Neal had asked. "I'm not surprised at all," she said. "He lives out here. Where else would he go to gas up? Maybe he's getting ready to take a trip." "This late on Sunday night?" "I don't think so. I think he was at home, watching The Sound of Music. I think he drank up all of his beer and came down here for more. He decided to top off his tank while he was at it." "You could be wrong, though. Hadn't you better pull in behind the store and follow him when he leaves?" But Tess didn't want to do that. The front of the truck stop store was all glass. He might look out and see her when she drove in. Even if the bright lighting above the pump islands made it hard for him to see her face, he might recognize the vehicle. There were lots of Ford SUVs on the road, but after Friday night, Al Stroke had to be particularly sensitized to black Ford Expeditions. And there was her license plate. Surely he would have noticed her Connecticut license plate on Friday, when he pulled up beside her in the Gone to Weeds parking lot of the deserted store. There was something else. Something even more important. She got rolling again, putting Ritchie's Township Road truck stop in the rear view. "I don't want to be behind him," she said. "I want to be ahead of him. I want to be waiting for him." "What if he's married, Tess?" Tom asked. "What if he's got a wife waiting for him?" The idea startled her for a moment. Then she smiled, and not just because the only ring he'd been wearing was the one too big to be a ruby. "Guys like him don't have wives," she said. "Not ones that stick around, anyway." There was only one woman in Al's life, and she's dead. 37. Unlike Lacemaker Lane, there was nothing suburban about Township Road. It was as country as Travis Tritt. The houses were glimmering islands of electric light beneath the glow of the rising moon. "Tess, you are approaching your destination," Tom said in his non-imaginary voice. She breasted a rise, and there on her left was a mailbox marked Stroke and 23. The driveway was long, rising on a curve, paved with asphalt, smooth as black ice. Tess turned in without hesitation, but apprehension dropped over her as soon as Township Road was behind her. She had to fight to keep from jamming on the brakes and backing out again. Because if she kept going, she had no choice. She'd be like a bug in a bottle. And even if he wasn't married, what if someone else was up there at the house? Brother Lay, for instance. What if Big Driver had been at Tommy's buying beer and snacks not for one but for two? Tess killed her headlights and drove on by moonlight. In her keyed-up state, the driveway seemed to go on forever, but it could have been no more than an eighth of a mile before she saw the lights of Stroke's house. It was at the top of the hill, a tidy-looking place that was bigger than a cottage but smaller than a farmhouse. Not a house of bricks, but not a humble house of straw, either. In the story of the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf, Tess reckoned this would have been the house of sticks. Parked on the left side of the house was a long trailer box with Red Hawk Trucking on the side. Parked at the end of the driveway, in front of the garage, was the cab over Pete from the website. It looked haunted in the moonlight. Tess slowed as she approached it, and then she was flooded with a white glare that dazzled her eyes and lit the lawn and the driveway. It was a motion-activated pole light, and if Stroke came back while it was on, he would be able to see its glow at the foot of his driveway. Maybe even while he was still approaching on Township Road. She jammed on the brakes, feeling as she had when, as a teenager, she'd dreamed of finding herself in school with no clothes on. She heard a woman groaning. She supposed it was her, but it didn't sound or feel like her. This isn't good, Tess. Shut up, Tom. He could come back any minute, and you don't know how long the timer on that thing is. You had trouble with the mother. He's much bigger than her.